Hi, and welcome to our 2022 R.Pod 195. We're just going to start in the back corner of the bumper here. This back corner of the bumper, you'll find your sewer hose. Sewer hose got put in backwards. Take a note of these two ears. That's what will be connecting with your sewer outlet. Let's leave that off to the side. Now, right next to it, we have your power. Take a note of that ear, that little knob there. It connects with this one on the bottom here, and you just give it that little quarter turn and lock the collar down to really lock it into place. Down from there, you have your stabilizer jack. You just run you have one at each corner of the unit. You're just going to run those to the ground, give it another little quarter turn to snug it up, and it'll take out any of the sway you see in the unit you have right now. Here's your cable satellite inlet. Down here is your gray valve. Your gray valve controls your sinks, your shower. You're typically going to empty that last. And ahead of it, you have your black tank sewer outlet. You're going to want to empty that first. The reason you do that is just to try and keep that hose as clean and smell-free as possible. Right from there, you have a freshwater inlet. That fills your freshwater tank, which your water pump draws from. And down from there, you have your city water connection, which you just hook a household garden hose to, and it pressurizes the lines. You just have this little storage compartment here. Well, you'll find your 15 park adapter. This is so that you can plug in at home and run your fridge. In the front of the unit, you have your battery disconnect. So with the battery disconnect on, the batteries are connected to the unit. With the battery disconnect off, the batteries are disconnected from the unit. In here, in this little black cover here, you have your propane tank. You just turn that tab, lift this up, and it's just your 20-pound standard propane tank. And you just turn that on, turning it clockwise. This unit does come with a bike rack installed. Here is your power tongue jack. The top button does the light. The bottom button does your up and down. On this side here, you just have more storage where you have your exterior little barbecue thing and a table. Take note, this here, this little silver thing just connects with this here mounted on the unit, and it just stays like that. The barbecue would mount the same way with the little mount that's in there. Here you have your little exterior shower connection. This unit doesn't come with the hose, so you'd need to buy that separately. And here is your black tank flush. So if you used the trailer a few times, you've emptied the black tank, but you notice there's still a smell or aroma coming, keep that, when you have the black tank open, draining, connect the garden hose to this and just turn it on. It'll help flush out any of that debris you got stuck in there. At the back of the unit, you have your spare tire, your ladder to get onto your roof, and you are pre-wired for a rear observation camera. Get inside of the unit. You're just going to want to turn that handle 90 degrees. Take the stairs, pull them out, open the door. Off to the right, you'll notice we do have a fire extinguisher. Just pull the pin and shoot. As soon as you get into the unit on the right-hand side, you have all your light controls. So this will turn all the interior lights on in the unit. You have your porch light, which turns your little orange amber porch light on the outside. And you have your awning LED light. And then you do have your slide out button. So you just push and hold out to put the slide out. You'll just hear the motors kind of get tight and shut off when you're fully extended. Here's your awning control. So you just hit extend to extend the awning, and to retract it, you would hit the same button down. So you'll know you're fully extended when you see the little flap fold down in the back of the metal tube. So there it is. Now, keep in mind that this awning does not take wind very well. So if you're getting anywhere between 15, 20 kilometer an hour winds, you're going to want to bring it in. If it ever starts raining or you want more shade, you could pull down on this arm and it'll change the pitch of the awning head, lowering it down. If you like it lower that way, because it applies more shade, you could just do that to both sides. But whenever you bring it in, make sure that the arm is folded back out. That way you don't run the risk of bending anything. And whenever you're bringing it in, just always watching to make sure that it doesn't roll up backwards, because it can hold water inside, creating mold and mildew. And now beside that, you have your little center for your water station. So on the left is your water heater. Before you ever fire the water heater, you're always going to want to go to the water heater and hit the little relief valve. Make sure there's water inside of it, because you can burn out the element if you don't have any water in there. So when you hit that, you'll see that fault light. You're going to kind of hear 3 clicks, and then you should hear a roar of a flame. It'll try that 3 times, and if it doesn't light, this fault light will stay on. And at that point, you just got to turn this off and then back on. There you go. You heard that fire up. This is your water pump switch. This will draw from your freshwater tank if you have water in it. And then here it'll just tell you, so L is low, F is fair, G is good, and C is charging for the battery. And we're currently C for charging because we're plugged in. Fresh water, it says we're 2/3 full, which we'll have to empty at the end of this. And then you have your black and your gray. On the left, you have your fridge. It's just a simple 12-volt pneumatic fridge. This does run on 12-volt or gas. You have a standard sink, hot, cold water. You have a propane stove. Turn this propane stove on. You just hold it to high, light, and hit it with a lighter, and it'll fire right up. You have your light and fan for your exhaust range. Always making sure you're running that fan whenever you're running the stove, because it is a propane stove, so it'll put off fumes. You have a little microwave on the bottom. Storage space inside this closet. You have your little dinette area where you have a fold-out table. These cushions do just sit here. I'll take a step over here, and here's your thermostat. So you just hit that bottom bar, and it'll bring you into fan speeds. So this is just running the fan at this point. No cooling or heating happening. And then you go to cool high. So this is running the AC compressor, running the air conditioner on high fan. You hit that button again, and it'll bring you into low fan with cool. And then you go into auto. Auto is like an on-demand system, so the air conditioner will come in and out as it's needed. Then you go auto high, and then you get into heat. So for heat, you're just running all the heat through your floor registers. And then you hit that button again, and you just go into off. Inside the bathroom here, you have your standard sink, light switch on the left. You do have a fantastic fan. To open the fan, you just have to pull down on this knob, turn it, and it'll open up. And then you have your fan speed button. So you go 1 for obviously low fan, and then 2, 3, and 4 for faster speeds. Turn that off. You can turn that back down, and then hit that lock. Make sure it's locked. Just a little medicine cabinet. This unit is equipped with a water recycler. So with this valve up, it spits water out as soon as you turn the tap on. But if you don't want to waste water because you're out boondocking, and you don't want to waste water, you just turn that valve down, and it'll spit the water back into the fresh water tank. And once you get hot water, you can just flick it back up, and that way you waste less water. This unit does come with a Carefree exterior adder room. In here, you just got extra storage. You do have lights inside these cabinets. This front is you can either have the shade up or you can have the shade down. You can open this up just hitting these latches. This is a fire exit as well. And you can kind of lift and there's a little knob you tighten up here, and it'll kind of sit where you leave it once you get that knob tight. And if you don't want the bugs to get in, it does come with a bug screen. And then up above your head over here, you have your TV, or your 12-volt TV, and another satellite outlet. There's a little button right beside the outlet that turns on your antenna. Now, if you do want better radio signal, you can turn that on. And then you have your standard radio, which is just power on. And it does have Bluetooth, AM and FM, and Zone 1 is inside and Zone 2 is outside. And that's just about it for this little unit here. If you have any questions, feel free to give us a call.